I talk a lot on this channel about the importance of emotional safety and why it's so crucial to repair and to grow a relationship. But I see a lot of people making a very, very big mistake when it comes to rebuilding emotional safety. So I want to talk about what is the biggest mistake that people can make and why it's so important to avoid this in order to truly grow a relationship. For those of you who don't know, emotional safety is essentially the environment to be able to express your feelings, your emotions, without any negative repercussions. This is one of the three core elements of relationships. And we talk about it a lot on this channel, especially in the context of repairing a relationship. When it comes to building emotional safety and rebuilding emotional safety, there's one mistake that people make a lot. This mistake comes in a lot of different kind of flavors, which is people saying things like, my partner or my ex-partner doesn't provide emotional safety for me. My partner or ex-partner, they invalidate me. My partner gets defensive with me. I can't build emotional safety because my partner keeps on breaking it. This is truly one of the biggest mistakes that people make when it comes to emotional safety, and switching the way that you view emotional safety is going to be really important to be able to ever create emotional safety and repair your relationship long term. The mistake here is this idea of blaming your partner for damaging emotional safety, for stepping on emotional safety, for not being able to build emotional safety. The toughest truth here is that when it comes to emotional safety, rebuilding always starts with building emotional safety for yourself. When you are able to become a resource for your own validation, for your own emotional safety, being able to provide that safety for yourself first, that is when you become truly present and build emotional safety for not only your partner, but for other people as well. So emotional safety has to be built from the inside out. And this is not necessarily easy, but this is the toughest truth when it comes to repairing a relationship or building any kind of relationship. This is ultimately a foundational principle of psychological health and relational skills and intelligence. And a lot of therapists, a lot of counselors talk about this inside out approach when it comes to building emotional safety. When we lack internal safety, we tend to use our relationships as a life raft to feel okay, which ironically makes those relationships more strained and less safe because we are not feeling emotionally safe ourselves. So I want to break this down into a few parts to help you understand it. The first thing is that when you start building emotional safety for yourself, this stops the kind of external search for emotional safety. So when you don't have the ability to validate yourself, you're constantly scanning your environment, your relationships, people around you for cues that you are okay, that you are loved, that you are correct. And this creates kind of a state of like hypervigilance. So being able to build your self-validation, provide your own kind of anchor, means that you're going to stop demanding that others provide your sense of worth. And this removes a massive amount of pressure from the relationship. When you are able to self-validate, it means that you are not constantly in a state of trying to get your partner or your ex-partner to validate you. You're able to self-validate, which means that the emotional toll on your partner becomes a lot less. And that gives them the emotional space, the environment for them to be able to start building that emotional safety. But the second thing is that it's nearly impossible to be truly present with someone else if you are preoccupied with how they are perceiving you. If you are performance monitoring, so internally, if you're asking yourself, like, do they like me? Did I say the right thing? Are they agreeing with me? If you're constantly trying to judge your own performance, then it means that you're not actually listening to them. When you're able to self-validate, when you're able to be present in a conversation, this quiets that internal noise, all of these questions and worries and anxieties and feelings, and it means that you're able to focus 100% on the other person, on your partner, because your own needs are already being met by you. So this means that the more internal safety you build within yourself, it means that you're able to be much more present with your partner, and you aren't being emotionally shaken by their moods, their opinions, their feelings, and you're able to simply be present with them, which again, counterintuitively starts to build emotional safety for both of you. And in this way, on this channel, we talk a lot about leadership in a relationship. In this way, this becomes the skill of leading via co-regulation. So in psychology, co-regulation is the way one person's nervous system can calm somebody else's, can calm another person's. So if you have built your own internal safety, your nervous system is regulated. So when you walk into a conversation with that stability, that means others subconsciously pick up on it. You become a safe harbor, making it easier for them to drop their defenses. So this is why it's so important to build your own internal emotional safety first, because this means that you will be able to rebuild that connection with your partner or your ex-partner really quickly, because you aren't pulled around by their temporary emotions, their temporary feelings. You're able to be a safe harbor and be present, which will set you apart from a lot of the competition out there, because a lot of people don't have that internal safety. But not only that, is that they will be able to slowly build up that feeling of being able to be truly vulnerable, which is absolutely essential when it comes to relationships. And there's an important nuance here that I want to address in just a second, but I just want to tap off that point by saying that building the internal emotional safety is not just through one action. This is not something that is done in mid-conversation. This is done in work prior to conversations. And this is why the work outside of the relationship is so important. The work you do outside of the relationship within yourself will always have the biggest impact on the relationship, building that emotional safety within the relationship. And that's why, what I talk to members about is what you need on game day is found in practice. And this is true for everything that we do. Everything that we need in the moment is always built before that moment. So that's why it's important to start learning these skills now, start practicing these skills now in order to be able to show up on game day, if that makes sense. And obviously emotional safety is one of those really important elements of the relationship to be able to rebuild it back for both of you in order to have a thriving relationship. And if you do want to learn more about the 3 core elements of relationships, then join me on my relationship bootcamp, where I break down the 3 main elements of relationships, why they're so important, equally important to build a thriving relationship, and how to start repairing those elements all by yourself. All you have to do is click on the link in the description to grab your spot. So building this internal self-validation, the ability to self-validate, is really important. So yes, self-validation is the engine, but it's really important to remember that humans are still social creatures. The goal isn't to become some island where you never need anything from anyone, where you never ask for anything from anyone. It's about being able to move from dependence. So I need validation from you. I need you to tell me that things are going to be okay. I need you to calm me down. I need you to make me okay. Moving away from that to what we call interdependence. So this is, I know that I'm okay, and I know that things are going to be okay because I have the process to be able to make things okay within myself. So I'm going to be okay. That allows you to be able to build interdependence long-term with you and your partner. So the sequence always starts with self-validation, building that to internal stability, building that to be able to be present in conversations, and that creates safety for others. And that's really important to know how the sequence works. And again, it's a matter of always, once you start at the root, that has a knock-on effect to everything afterwards. And that's where so many people make the mistake when it comes to trying to rebuild back a relationship, is that they think top down when it always starts bottom up, for want of a better phrase. And again, this is where a lot of people get tripped up because they think, I can't build emotional safety by myself. I have to be able to build it with my partner. Like, it takes 2 to tango. It takes 2 people to repair the relationship. And again, this is one of the mistakes that people make, is thinking that emotional safety is only ever going to be built if their partner puts in that effort as well. This 2 to tango myth is one of the biggest things that holds people back from repairing a relationship. So I've actually done a deeper dive on this, which I'll link to on the screen, but understanding how much influence we have on the relationship dynamic itself is really important. Once we understand exactly how much we can change the relationship just by growing and changing how we approach a relationship, is going to be a key shift in being able to lead the relationship into a really healthy, strong, thriving direction. So like I said, I've done a deeper dive video. I'll leave it there on the screen and I'll see you over there.